Welcome. We're going from the dystopian future of 2025 AB to that fucking bleak-ass dystopian. I mean, you lived through this, so you can tell us more about it.
1994 was a very bleak year.
This even jumps back. Do you remember how bleak 1994 was?
Yeah, I was a 20-year-old man, the prime of my life.
Yeah.
And it was
Sudden
a
death.
hellscape.
Sudden death was out in
You guys
theaters.
think Trump is bad. 94 was awful.
Yeah.
Not a good year.
Yeah, I mean, Boogaloo.
Great year for music, but not a good year for everything else.
Dude, the music industry was like the big oil industry. There was
It
just
was.
so many fucking wrecks just ruining oceans and shit, just blowing our minds. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. And also, Super Metroid came out that year, so that's worth noting.
All I got to say is, you know, I had to have heart surgery a few years ago. It was because of my heart couldn't take the music from 1994.
Yeah, that's why.
Because our heartbeats were a very important component.
It was.
Music back
and
then.
the machinery they put in your heart to track that was.
Yeah, well, it was a BIM mark. That's how they tracked it.
It was just the BIM mark?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I thought they actually.
Well, it was kind of, you think about it, because we're going to talk about how, I mean, this movie obviously was from the mind of Menachem Golan. Well, he made it better. And he basically predicted everything that we're living in right now. He was so ahead of his time. In this movie, he basically predicted the Fitbit. It was the BIM mark.
He absolutely did. The other thing he really pointed out, which this movie came out in 80, was willing to accept, is that big labels were evil. No one was willing to accept that. And nowadays, we're the big labels. They're pretty much just fucking still snorting coke off of whaling ships. The ships that kill whales. They're evil.
They are.
Exactly.
It's causing global warming.
Yeah. They killed Harambe, I hear. Mm-hmm. Murray, you ready for some facts?
Lay it on me.
I got so many fucking facts here, because this movie, how it came to be, is quite fascinating. First of all, I scoffed at Murray saying this was just Golan's brainchild, because honestly, Tim Apple...
Well, yeah, the Bible was the original story, but he just improved the Bible.
So this man, Kobe Recht, gets a job at Barclay Records, which I thought was a soccer team or something. Anyways, thought his boss was a creep, and that's how the character Boogaloo got started. This man went to his wife, Yatvat. I don't know how to say that name. Yatvat.
I like it.
Intended this whole, he wrote up this whole screenplay with his wife, intended it for the stage, but everyone he brought the script and everything to was like, yeah, you can't make this for the stage.
This is garbage. Give me some Golan ideas.
They were a little nicer about it. They're just like, yeah, we can't make that. So Kobe is just like, oh, fuck, I'm so sad about this.
Kobe Bryant has some movies?
Kobe Recht, but Kobe Bryant, sure. So he's all bummed out, and then he hears that his lifelong pal, Golan's coming to town. He's known him since he was 9.
Yeah.
So
he's like, Menachem's a genius.
Yeah.
Let me bounce some ideas off of him.
So he calls him up. He's like, hey, I got all these demo tapes for these songs I recorded. I want you to hear them. On the spot, Golan's like, this is a movie. We're calling it the Apple. It's getting made. He takes him back to Hollywood with him. Kobe and his wife, Yatvat. Golan, rewrites the movie 6 times in 3 weeks without their... involvement.
It's called perfecting a story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, Kobe and Yatvat were very upset by the changes because they completely overhauled the movie.
So it really is an original story.
It kind of is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was intended to have a complete, and if you actually watch the movie, you'll see it, Orwellian feel to it. They wanted it to be 1984. Mm-hmm. But, of course, Golan was like, no, we're doing it 10 better. 1994.
Yeah, because even he realized 5 years it can't get this bad.
Yeah.
And so he's like 15 years or 14 years.
So Golan toned down on the Orwellian feel and up the comical tone. You could definitely see where it comes through.
This is a comedy? I thought this was a deadly serious movie.
I mean, tone, not...
Lighthearted tone.
Yeah.
Little whimsy, if
exactly.
you will.
So... As if Golan wasn't kind of already taking this by the head himself, when Kobe and Yatbot were like, man, what are you doing with this? Golan doesn't even, like, he's not even fazed by their criticism. He is just like,
he's a genius. He doesn't,
yeah.
Criticism doesn't affect him.
He just bowls right over him and is just like, you know what? I'm really upset with you because why doesn't this include any action in it?
I was too, because I was lied to, because I actually posted, I think it was like a movie poster. They said it was martial arts in this movie, and there's no martial arts.
Yeah, there's a couple punches.
There's like one ass kicking,
yeah.
and it was not martial at all.
So this movie was projected to cost $4 million. That's what they initially got their money for. But Golan just kept like disappearing. I believe they were supposed to be like in London recording because they went. I got some notes about that in a minute here, but they went like balls to the wall of recording the music, and it shines. Like you could definitely see it on the screen.
Well, I had read that the actress that played Bibi, the female lead, she had like trained her, like she wasn't a born singer, you know. She like trained to sing for the movie, and they're like, no, we're just gonna have a real singer, and you're gonna lip sync.
Yeah, Kobe basically snatched her because she was there as a dancer. And Kobe's like, that's Bibi.
That's a star.
So that was the one...
almost like what happens in the movie.
Yeah. That's
Life imitating art.
That's like the one thing Kobe got away with in the movie, because he is very upset with how it turned out. But he snatched Bibi out, and
she's the only person who had any kind of a career after this movie, so it's a smart move for Kobe.
Yeah, really. He really made her. So the movie ends up costing $10 million, which...
And it's every penny's on the screen.
Every penny. Or in the soundtrack, which is stellar. Of course, some scenes were shot in a gas factory from World War II.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There's a lot of old World War II sets in golan-globus movies.
Two of the actors in this, or two of the people who helped do the choreography in the movie, actually went on to do American Idol.
Yeah, I wonder where they got the idea for American Idol from.
Yeah, there's plenty of conspiracy theories out there. So it's not just us pointing out that Golan started pretty much everything.
I think Simon Cowell based his whole persona on Mr. Boogaloo.
I think so too. So let's see. Recton went to Berlin. This is the best thing I heard about that. There is a scene cut out from the movie.
I think I read about this.
Yeah.
I can explain it.
And Recht, this is Kobe. Sorry, Kobe Recht. He wanted basically nothing to do with it. He was just staying away from everything. And Golan was like, no, come here. And he walks in to see them shooting what was supposed to be the first scene of the movie called Paradise Day. And it took $1 million to make this scene alone, which, again,
wow. And back then, that's probably like, what, $5 million?
Yeah.
Basically?
And again, didn't make the movie. So this is Recht recalling it. He was shooting this part that never ended up on the screen because it was terrible. It was terrible. There was like 15 dinosaurs on the set. I couldn't believe my eyes.
That sounds amazing. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. Josh Ackland, who portrayed Mr. Tops, recalled that the scene consisted of a combination of both real and phony animals, and the Mr. Tops character was in a crevice making Elfie and singing the song Creation. Multiple problems occurred shooting the sequence, such as the dinosaur pieces falling down and a tiger running from the set. The uncut scene also involved both Mr. Tops and the devil character, Mr. Boogaloo, doing a dance together, which involved Boogaloo actor Vladek Scheibel falling on a river. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Falling on a river.
I don't know.
So the tracks were mixed by a remix to Dolby Stereo on a
Doubly is how you pronounce it.
Okay, on a Nev console for the film by The Village Reorder. The only studio rec could find that had a Nevi. The studio charged $7,000 a day for remixing the tracks. The Apple soundtrack features sounds and production techniques that were never heard on any other record before, such as the use of pink noise on the snare drums.
Pink noise.
It's interesting to read about, but holy shit, it's crazy. The London Philharmonic Orchestra performed the orchestral arrangements for both the songs and non-song pieces of the Apple. Clinton served as the conductor. This is George S. Clinton.
Yeah, not Parliament Funkadelic.
Yes. served as the conductor and was initially scared shitless as it was his first time conducting a full professional orchestra. Instead of a baton, he conducted the orchestra with chopsticks he received from a Chinese restaurant that was 2 buildings away from the studio where the soundtrack was recorded.
This is what I love about Menachem Golan and Yoram Globus. We had talked about this a few weeks ago about Sam Furstenberg had never directed an action movie before. What was I don't remember what. I think it was Revenge of the Ninja. And they're like, so go ahead and do it. Yeah. And this is the same with this guy. They're like, so you've never conducted an orchestra before? Well, got to try sometime. And they giving people the shot.
Yeah,
you know?
I love it. You don't get that nowadays. It's like you need to have done something incredibly successful and have no comment in your past that could be construed poorly. So just 2 more things. We'll get this over with. We'll hit that sweet trailer, and we'll start fucking singing our asses off. Kobe Recht once recalled one of the sessions having more than 200 people, including several musicians and a choir consisting of 120 vocalists. Recht said recording the film's reggae number, How to Be a Master, was complicated due to actual Jamaican musicians performing on the song and not being able to read the charts that were in English. According to Clinton, again, George S. Clinton, Grace Kennedy, who played Pandy, great names, by the way. Mm-hmm. Was it Dandy and Pandy?
Yeah, Dandy and Pandy.
Oh, my God. Had an uncomfortable time singing Coming, so Clinton had to tell her...
I don't know why. It's a fucking beautiful song.
It's beautiful, so I'll read those lyrics later on. So Clinton had to tell her that it was her character singing the lyrics and not Kennedy herself.
Yeah, it's called acting, Grace.
Acting. And, of course, the worst part of this whole feature film is that when Golan took this is his love child.
His magnum opus.
This was his gift to the world. Mm-hmm. And when he screened it in front of all the Hollywood elites, he was like, finally, people will realize that I'm more than just...
I'm going to change the world.
Yeah.
Like, the Cold War is going to end tonight.
Yes. And he handed out CD copies. That's how much he spent on this. CD copies. People were like, what do I even do with this disc?
What is this?
And
is there any laser discs involved?
No. They were too heavy.
Yet.
So these people watched the movie, and halfway through, they chuck the CDs through the screen. Golan goes back to his hotel and attempts suicide.
Yeah, until somebody, another genius, I'm going to say Globus, I don't know who did it, he talked him off the ledge, literally. And he's like, look, one day, not only are people going to understand this movie, and you're going to change the way people look at life, you're going to make Chuck Norris a star.
A star!
And even Golan was like, I'm a genius, I know, but even I cannot work miracles. And he's like, no, you're going to do it. All right, I believe you.
I believe he actually said, you might not get this now, but your kids will get it, which shows up in the Back to the Future. A quick little nod to Golan. You know about that?
He inspired Back to the Future. What didn't Golan inspire?
I know.
God damn it! Why doesn't more people know? This is why we do this, people.
It is.
So people know about Menachem Golan and Yoram Globus.
Yeah.
Geniuses. Way ahead of their time.
Exactly. What else is out of the time? This trailer.
So all I gotta say is, Griff, are you ready for a trailer?
Some good singing there, bud. You got the pipes of an angel. Yeah, I'm ready for some trailer.
I thought you were gonna sing back to me, but okay.
Yes, I'm ready for a trailer.
Well, then let's give the people what they want. The Menachem Golan masterpiece, The Apple.
In 1994, the world is controlled by one power. The Apple is success.
There ain't no pride. There ain't no shame. There ain't no sympathy. There ain't no blame. There ain't no pleasure. There ain't
The
no
Apple
pain.
brings you everything.
What about happiness?
Child of love, show me. Tell me.
I wanted to release Bibi from a contract.
Cheers.
Where is she?
I stand alone.
I stand alone. Cry for me.
The apple is the temptation.
Taste it.
The apple is the experience.
Take the apple. Whoa! Praise the apple. Whoa! Yeah.
The apple is the forbidden fruit.
Come and take me and shape me and mold me and make me and fill me up with your fire. Come do anything to me your little heart desires. I've never been so high in my life.
Phoebe, I must see you. I gotta talk to you.
The apple takes your soul.
New York out to LA. Everybody does it her way. Pumping power by the hour. Speed. I can feel the earth start quaking when America starts shaking. Pumping power by the hour. Speed.
Now, a special experience in movie-going entertainment. The apple.
Dystopian 1994. Of course, we're watching American Idol's prototype.
Hold on, I need some tea.
Oh, you need some tea
honey in it.
for your poor tea? Tea? What? I got tea on the brain now. Come on. We're seeing what 1994 has for bands. We see 1994's Neil Peart. Drum kit. Fucking, it's got lasers shooting out of it and shit.
Did we ever? Was it just called Dandy and Pandy, or did they ever band have a name?
I don't know what this band name was. It was just BIM Industries or something.
So they're totally like it's like music nowadays. There's a product of a corporation. It's a lot of, I don't know whatever. It's kind of like analytics. It's kind of like they're just like, all right, people like this, people like that. And they're not. There's nothing. This music isn't coming from the heart. People.
Oh yeah, they're money-balling music. It's all just the mind games. They're all about just.
It's like this is like the boy bands of 1994.
Yeah.
And
is that boy bands of 1994? Yeah, Kids in the Hall. Wait.
What?
New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block. And so, and not even that. It's like. Not only are they phony, but they're all about branding. Like the song is about the record company. It's called BIM, which stands for Boogaloo International Music.
Yeah.
So it's like a commercial. It's just like we're living in now.
But it's fucking catchy as shit.
It is.
I mean, Murray.
Well, that's because they analytically it, whatever that word is.
They
moneyballed it, like you said.
They shout out to the crowd, B, and they instinctively know to say, I am back to them.
Yeah.
It sounds beautiful. It sounds a little like this.
To the BIM.
I mean, it works.
It works for me, and I don't like this phony music, but it's got that. It's catchy as fuck.
You get it, and the notes I was reading almost makes it sound like Golan took all the dystopian out of it, but he doesn't. The lyrics very plainly say, like, there's no sadness, but there's also no happiness. We're just this gray muck area.
Yeah, they're just basically trying to brainwash these kids. Because all these kids got nothing. They're living in a dystopian future, people.
Yeah.
They don't even have rats.
And as you mentioned, rats, they cut to the people behind the control panels that are adjusting the lights and everything. Yeah. And we get to see Shake, who is...
Yes. He's the right-hand man of Mr. Boogaloo, a.k.a. Satan.
This is a number one character for me, and Boogaloo's A2. Like, they're so close together.
Let's just say... He's flamboyant and leave it at that, okay? Shake. He's a very flamboyant character.
Just a little bit. So, Shake is very excited. And he is just like, look at these heart rates! He's like, the tension, billions. The happiness, 4 billion. And also, What? Oh shit! What is it?
150
Heartbeats.
heartbeats.
He's like the
No
heartbeat.
song had ever reached at that moment 150 heartbeats.
No song ever. And again, this is like the American Idol. They get together
Right.
once a year to do this, and they're fucking blowing the charts.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think they actually have something like this in Europe. It's like Eurovision, where they have every country has their own singer, and they do a show similar to this. So this inspired that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I believe so. This was the spinoff to everything that you see now. That's
so
competition.
so like I said, Shake is in charge. He's taking everything. Then our man, Mr. Boogaloo, shows up in his limo.
Yeah. Well, he was already in the studio with.
No, I thought he just showed up.
No, he was already in there
Okay.
because he's immediately like, "Great, let's work on that merchandise right the fuck now."
Yeah, because like I said, this is just a commercial. This isn't fucking real music, people. This is like now they use your favorite song for a car commercial and shit.
I hate that shit.
And it's kind of like it ruins the song because in their mind, it's like when you hear your favorite song, they want you to think of their product.
Oh my God.
And I fucking hate that. And I'm glad I like music that nobody likes because I don't have to hear that shit.
It's true.
But it would bum me out if I
The few
liked
times like this happened to me, like a song I never expected to hear a commercial was in a commercial, and I was like, "You just broke my."
I heard a
heart.
fucking Misfit song in a fucking commercial. I mean, what the fuck, Glenn? Come on,
Glenn.
So so he's just counting the money. He's like, another hit from
Yeah.
Mr. Boogaloo because this is what he does.
We cut to Ashley. He's like, "What do you got in mind for this merchandise? How about T-shirts? Fucking T-shirts. This is 1994 song.
Nobody wears T-shirts anymore. Those are so 1980.
We need to get back to this fucking show though. There's real shit going on. We're
Well,
getting introduced to our next
Pandy
act.
and Danley finally. They just you're like, who can top that shit? They just blew everyone's mind. These kids are fucking. They're just like, what next?
Yeah.
And what next is a little act called Alfie and BB. I don't think they didn't have a name.
They didn't even have a name.
And I just want to mention, before they go into their song, which is beautiful, by the way.
It's called Love the Universal Melody.
And to get you in that mood, Alfie makes a little speech right before. And it's a beautiful fucking speech. And it's about unity and bringing people together. And like, we're just going to play the
Yeah, we'll
speech
just
because
play the
I can't even do justice to the words he says.
The passion alone, you just need to hear it.
Yeah, so let's just hear that speech right
For
now.
some reason in this world, skinheads, short hairs, do not get along with the metalheads. There's only one kind of music in this world, and that is fast, hard. And whether you have short hair, long hair, mustache, beard, leather and jeans, suit and tie, no matter. We are all here together to fight.
Yeah.
All right, wow, that was so
jeez.
fucking great. I'm glad, Chris, they touched on a subject most people skirt around.
Yeah.
The tension between mustache people and beard people. I'm glad somebody's finally speaking out, all right?
I was too worried about molds at that time to think about
Well,
it. but
look,
this
I
is
don't know.
real.
You guys don't know what we look like, but Griff has a mustache, sadly. And over the winter, I had a beard. And there was so much fucking tension. I know if you listen to those episodes from the winter, you can probably hear it.
Yeah.
We did a good job of trying to keep it in control. We busted out in a few fist fights.
Well, we Rod Allen and Mario and Pemba it. That's a big time Detroit insider.
So it's that I don't even get that one.
Oh, they were the Tiger broadcasters
Oh, okay.
who got in a fight.
Yeah, but Griff's such a great sound engineer. It was seamless. You didn't even hear us fighting. You just cut it out.
I work it out. I
But
massage that
it got to
magic.
the point I had to shave my beard off because I was like, we can't do this. We can't work together like this.
You've already talked about it. I have the sweet flowing stone.
You got the Screaming Eagle.
Screaming Eagle.
And I got the Nang Chen.
And
that's already kind of opposing. And like beard and mustache took it over the edge.
Hair accessories are downfall.
But guys, like Alfie said, like we can live together, man. You can be friends. Just because you got a beard, doesn't mean you can't be friends with the guy with a mustache.
So thank you, Alfie. Go ahead and start into that wonderful, beautiful song. I fell asleep. This song's horrible. You know, of all the songs in this movie, this is the one to skip over. And
according to the audience, they agree with you.
Yeah,
because they're not feeling it at all.
They're fucking.
Well, they just came off the highest of highs with B.I.M.
Yeah, B. You didn't continue. Okay.
I am.
Thank you.
I thought you were going to say T-I-M, because that's who I am.
Oh, T.
See, it works on so many levels. I am.
There we go.
See, because my name's Tim, and it spells Tim, and I am
Now
Tim.
I have to go edit that to shorten the pause, the gap.
Yeah,
in
you
between.
can do that.
It seems like we know what we're doing. So the audience, they've got like these weird consoles. They're in these weird seats where they have like these big lights. They're like wired in. It's like Clockwork Orange.
It is.
Almost.
It's got that really ugly 70s architecture. Everything's
Yeah.
concrete. And
Very
everything.
dystopian.
Yes, very dystopian.
So they're
Which
ripping-
makes sense. It was in Germany where this was filmed.
Yeah,
because
they're ripping out like the structures. They're throwing them at the stage. You see a Coca-Cola bottle go whipping past slow mo. That was probably $1 million shot right there.
Dude, chucking batteries and
Everybody's
shit.
hating it, and then one girl pats her guy and is just like, "Shut up! It's a love song."
I like this.
And everybody else apparently heard her and sits down, and then
Well, like her
they're-
boyfriend Biff is like, "Oh wait, this is my in. I can
Yeah.
get laid tonight if I pretend like I like this." Like, yeah, it is kind of good. And he puts his arm around
Yeah.
her. And while it's going on, we go back to the
Control room. Yeah.
and like Shake is like, "Oh my god, love songs are so out.
Yeah.
What is this bullshit?" And like Boogaloo's like, "Yeah, I had no hand in this. It's gonna suck. Nobody cares." And then while while they're discussing something, we see the heartbeat meter, and it's
Yeah.
just slowly going higher and higher.
Shake, we get this shot of Shake explaining to Boogaloo, nostalgia is bullshit. Don't worry, they'll get over it. And in the background, we see,
Even though we live in an era where nostalgia is everything. But-
absolutely everything, absolutely.
So if only people listen to Shake. Listen to Shake, people.
Yeah. So behind Shake, we can see the heartbeat counter. We just saw Bim get 150. Elfie and BB are climbing. They're at like 149 already. And Shake is just like, "Don't worry, Mr. Boogaloo. They'll never get over 150. And just then, producer Joe goes, "Hey, they're at 151. That shit climbed up to 162.
That's like a Foxy Brown episode.
That's a Foxy Brown episode. So Boogaloo's just like, "Fuck this. I'm not losing today. Get the red tape."
Yeah.
So Shake busts out. I love it because it comes in one of those old like Disney VHS tape
the clamshell.
the clamshells.
Yeah.
It's this huge fucking thing with this teeny tiny
little
tape.
cassette tape.
Because it's the future.
Right.
It's like the size of an SD card. And he's like, "You play this tape, honey, and if you tell a fucking soul about it, I'm gonna slit your goddamn throat." And he's like, "Who would I tell?"
I work for you. Okay, whatever. I don't give a shit.
So they put on that tape. I couldn't tell what song this was.
I think it was Pink Noise to start.
Just Pink Noise?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
it-
makes sense because that was
Right.
new to the time.
And it just enrages the kids.
Oh my god!
It's like there's like a fucking punk show now. They're moshing, they're fucking crowd surfing.
They're back to throwing.
And
shit
it kills
on
the
stage.
vibe for BB and Alfie, so they stop playing.
BB runs off the stage. Alfie stays, fucking smashes.
Because
guitar.
Alfie's punk as fuck. He's just like, he's all about the art. He's
Yeah.
the opposite of BIM.
Yeah, exactly. So fucking, he like wraps it up. He flips off the crowd, fucking shits in his hand and throws it at them. Goes
He
GG
goes
Allen.
straight up GG Allen. Busts his head open. Spits blood on somebody.
So now we're gonna join Boogaloo. He's leaving. He
Going to his
won.
limo.
Bim won.
Bim always wins.
We got all these interviewers, German people, Italian people asking in their native tongue, and he's just fluidly just speaking
Yeah,
with
so
them.
yeah.
And then we finally get, what was his name, like Joe Plummer or something.
It was Joe Pittman.
Pittman, yeah. So Joe Pittman's like, Mr. Bim, here's the weirdest thing. You were losing for a little while there, and then something happened, and you won.
And he's like, what newspaper do you work for?
Well, the Daily Post,
The
of
Daily
course.
Planet.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's like, okay.
I will remember that name.
And we know what's going to happen. Then that guy's disappearing.
Oh, boy.
You do not challenge Mr. Boogaloo.
So Boog's got to go celebrate his win.
He says fake news, and then he just walks off.
Yeah.
And that just shuts the whole thing down. Because that's what Boogaloo does, man. He just comes in, says something, and shuts it down.
Big time. So
they're having a party. Boog's like he's got Dandy and Pandy at his penthouse apartment.
yeah.
Boog Tower. And he was like, well, if you can't beat him, join him. So he invites BB and Alfie to the party.
He recognizes their talent. He still needed to win that competition, but he recognized their talent because he's like,
I can do something with these people.
Well, he wants to get them under contract.
Right.
He can't let them be kind of rogue out there. So he's like, yeah, come to this sweet fucking dope-ass party. I want to point out, they start handing out the drinks. Did you notice?
In the BIM glasses? Did you notice that?
Yeah, I noticed all these glasses. I mean, we've got Ashley, the merchandise guy, like showing us all the fucking like cool new BIM merchandise that he's introduced. There's a fucking little...
It's a BIM vibrator. It was weird.
BIM vibrator. I think we might have stole some of our cachete case based on that.
Yeah, there was a BIM schlong.
And then he was like, "Oh, and this pinball machine, which of course is a pinball machine." And then the thing we see featured a lot in this movie, and a lot of the shots I put up on IG, the BIM marker.
The BIM mark.
Which I feel like is straight up 80s thing, which is just a sticker that is like very...
The hologram sticker.
Yeah, hologram sticker.
Yeah, it's very... Well, it's also tapping... Because this movie, let's face it, it's a retelling of the fall of man and the banishment from the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
As told through the music industry. So this is the number of the beast, Griff. When they're marking people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's why I don't have a Social Security number, because that's the number of the beast, too.
Dude, as they're handing out these drinks, you notice one of the glasses. All of their glasses are not fit for a hand. They
look like glass vases for flowers.
Exactly. Everything they give is like a fishbowl or a fucking tall ass vase.
Because as Americans, man, we got to have those giant fucking drinks. We can't just moderate. You know, it's got to be all in or nothing.
So again, if you watch this movie, just spend your whole time noticing everything because it's a spectacle. But
well, BB and Alfie show up. Alfie did not want to go to the party. He's like, "Fuck this shit. I'm an artist. I don't need this shit." She's like, "Oh, come on. Let's hear what Boogaloo has to say."
Doesn't want to hang out with sellouts.
And so they show up, and they're like a drink. BB's like, "Totally, yeah. Give me one of those giant fucking
a two-handed
big gulps
wine glass."
And fucking Alfie's like, "I'm straight edge, bitch." Slaps the fucking glass out of someone's hand.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go that far, dude.
Boogaloo is just like, "Oh, a straight edge kid. How unique."
Yeah, how much money do you make?
Yes. Oh, how much? I wish I could do his I loved Boogaloo.
Yeah, he was like some weird like Eastern European dude.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. He's in Casino Royale.
But BB, she's ready to sell out. She's tired of fucking eating mac and cheese every night and ramen noodles.
Well, she doesn't want to fucking be hanging out in Alfie's apartment with her fucking landlord.
Yeah, because they
sleep in the same bed.
They're subletting, so their landlady lives in their room with them. This old Jewish lady. But yeah, and so she's like, "Hey man, fuck yeah, let's do this. Give me a BIM mark."
Immediately, this dude, Dandy. Not Jim Dandy, which might have been a reference they were making.
Man.
Mr. Hot and Nasty.
He's Mr. Hot and Nasty, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
He's got a beautiful mane of hair.
He's got like Rod Stewart hair.
No, he was even better than that. It was just like a mane. It was beautiful.
What? I thought he had that.
It wasn't spiky. No, it was very
I thought Rod
poofy.
Stewart in the early day had like that kind of hair, though.
He might have. I don't know.
Anyways, so she gets swept away immediately, and she's just like, "I am so ready to fuck."
He's like, "You got to see the view from the roof. Come up here."
Yeah. So goes up there. Alfie, he's just, "I'm straight edge." But
you could tell that like Boogaloo talked to Andy and Pandy first. He's like, "Pandy, you take care of Alfie."
Yeah. No, immediately he's just like, "Get on them." So we're watching BB just getting persuaded into this new lifestyle.
Well, she gets it's fitting there on the roof because she gets roofied. But it's like it's not even he's like, here, he has this little box of pills.
Yeah,
and
very conveniently she says, "I've never been this high before," and he's like, "You've never been this high before? Well, you need to take one of these."
And he's like, "What is that?" "Oh, it's just a pill. Take it." "All right."
Okay.
And she just takes it.
She's already chugged that giant, like, gallon and a half.
Yeah, you don't mix pills with booze, people.
Two-handed wine glass. And, now she's popping pills, too.
She's fucked up.
So, immediately, Deanie moves in. And she's into it, which Alfie is fine with. Maybe he's into that kind of thing.
He likes to watch.
But everybody starts laughing at her because, she's, got roof. I don't know.
She's just fucked up. And then there's a song start, doesn't it?
Yeah. This wasn't the song I thought it was, but this starts in one of Boogaloo songs. This is where he's got the little rope, and he's like, "I got you like a rabbit from my rope and a string."
So he's kind of like doing a Shakespearean aside, where he's telling us, the audience, his plans. Like, they are not aware of just how evil he is, and I can manipulate people. And he's just he's like rubbing it in, like loading.
Oh,
like,
big time.
You're going to be mine. I'm going to own both of you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And
so, song, gets cut short abruptly because Alfie is just like, "I'm getting BB out of here." Grabs her, rips her out of there. And Boogaloo is just like, "They'll be back. I got that woman."
And he does.
So, this is where we get to the next day. And we immediately cut in on... They do this angle where we're basically looking at Alfie's dick. And for a PG movie...
Is that the Laserdisc version? I don't remember seeing Alfie's dick.
You weren't paying close enough attention.
No, I wasn't.
So, this is a PG movie. Of course, it's 80s PG. So it means they can basically get away with anything.
Yeah, those were great times, Graf.
But they kept everything clothed. They just left very little to the imagination. Like, Alfie's dick is struggling to get out of those. Like, he's trying to burst through.
They were pretty tight, yeah. He had armadillo in his trousers.
Super tight. So they're complaining about, because BB is once again dragging him to not just Boogaloo's penthouse, but he's taking her to BIM Industries.
Yes, BIM International Music Industries.
Yeah. And she's just like,
ugly building.
"We need to talk to him. He might give us a record deal." And he's like, "Think of the contracts. Americans fuck everybody over on their contracts."
And he's kind of right.
I mean, he's super right. He's like, "It's going to be full doublespeak."
He's like, I'm going straight up this fucking indie route, dude. I'm not.
Yeah.
Our 7-inch is coming out next week. I don't know what you're talking about.
So,
and she's like, come on. I'm tired of living with a landlady. Come on, let's just talk to him. He's like, all right.
We get...
They go up to his office.
Well, they get sit down.
Oh, that's right.
This is one of my... Oh, my God, the songs in this are so great. So, they sit down. They're right next to the guy who's like, "I am a traveling circus man." I don't know what's going on.
I don't
here.
know why a traveling circus man with a dance troupe would be at a record company, but I'd go with it.
No idea. So they're sitting there waiting for a minute, and then Boogaloo comes down, Willy Wonka style. It's got a song and everything.
Right down the escalator.
He's dancing. He's fucking singing. It blows my mind every time. This is probably my favorite song.
Like a puppet on the string, like a monkey on a swing. Man is clinging to the ropes of the fantasies and hopes we are dangling.
Mr. Boogaloo!
He's so eager to believe, and so easily deceived. Like a baby watching magic, he's so gullible, it's tragic in the word naive. Life is nothing but show business in 1994. We fight for the spotlight. We kill for encore. Life is nothing but show business. The world's a cabaret. We live for the fortune. We die for the fame.
So they finish up the song. Do you remember the part of the song with the amazing little man?
No, I don't remember any
Why
of the
was
song.
it in there? Why was it in there?
I don't know, because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's just a random breakdown in the song where it goes, "Now everybody let me introduce to you the amazing shrinking man."
Okay, the little midget that comes out.
And it's a normal man. He walks behind a statue,
Yeah.
and then a little person walks out. And
that trick,
Why?
that optical illusion probably cost like $1 million right
it
there.
probably did. So, yeah, the song ends. They call Alfie up. God damn it. Are you fucking kidding me?
The dog and cat are wrestling right now, right under our feet.
Guys, fuck off.
Get out of here, Millie.
They just try to drag Murray's microphone away.
They're like, let Griff talk.
Not to mention my plan almost fell over. Come on, guys. Let's get
coming
this
for you.
cord up here. Anyways, guys, this is the apple. This is the big leagues. All right. I'm sorry. I had to scorn my animals. That's the right word, right? Scorn? No, scold. God damn it. I've got scorn on the brain because it's an evil movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So they're up in Mr. Big's. Or not Mr.
Mr.
Hurry,
Boogaloo.
help me out here.
Mr. Boogaloo. They go up to his office. He's got the contract. It's like a 200-page contract. They're like, you don't need to read it. Just sign it. BB immediately, give me a pen.
Yeah.
And
No
Alfie's like,
hesitation.
I know about you Americans and your contracts. I'm going to get myself a lawyer. He's like, fine. You can do that. You got 20 minutes.
Yeah, he was immediately like, why is there 2 contracts? Why is it? Why is this? Why is this? Why is it? And
doing what you should do.
yeah, exactly. Asking questions. But as he's like thinking about it, he starts going into total brand mode.
Yeah, he totally becomes the three-eyed raven. And he has this vision. He just sees like an earthquake. And he's freaking out. And then he comes back and he's looking around. Everyone's okay. And they're like, what's wrong with you, dude? He's like, you didn't feel that earthquake? No, what the fuck's going on? People, he's a three-eyed raven. He can see through. He looks at Mr. Boogaloo and sees that he's Satan. Because he's got one little horn coming out his forehead.
Yeah, this is part of a costume that I was fucking all about.
And he's like, you're not seeing this shit? No, what the fuck you smoking? Give me some of that shit. And then he has another vision. Like it's like,
yeah, Elfie. They go over to this table because they open a wall, and BB is blown away. She's like, any outfit I want. And
but
so
she signs a contract immediately.
Yeah, she's signing the contract. Elfie puts it down on the table, looks at it for another minute, and then he goes into this new vision. Except everybody around them gets plunked into this...
They're in hell.
Hell.
It's hell, dude. There's demons. Fucking Shake turns into a snake man.
Did you see the one person who had 2 faces?
Yes, I did.
That was free. I'm glad you noticed something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, then the titular song actually starts up. This is The Apple.
Magic apple, mystery apple, take a little ride. Let me be your guide through the apple paradise. Juju apple, voodoo apple, take a little bite. Spend the splendid night in our garden of delight. It's a natural desire. Meet an actual
I mean,
vampire.
if you're going to have a movie called you got to have a song for that.
And Mr. Boogaloo, he's like, you don't need Alfie, you got Dandy. And Dandy shows up wearing the fucking dong thong and nothing else. Got some, he's covered in petroleum jelly, just glistening.
Oh, yeah.
And he's holding this giant apple.
Giant.
And he's like, how do you like them apples?
I have to imagine there was not an apple for the first, 5 shoots they did. That Golan showed up was like, where's the apple? And they had, a normal apple, and he's like, that's not big enough. And that apple, I heard, was made of some kind of rare gem.
I heard it was made from a watermelon.
Okay.
Because it's the size of a watermelon.
It is fucking huge.
And they go in a big evil dance number and song and dance. And the apple, you heard it. We just played it.
Yeah.
And
Mystery apple.
then
apple.
you're like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on, people? Because, see, people, BB and Alfie, they're Adam and Eve. They're innocent. They're pure.
Yeah.
And Mr. Boogaloo is Satan. He's trying to tempt them with this apple, this recording contract. And as, of course, in the Bible, it works on the woman. And the man's like, no, this is bullshit. And so Alfie comes out of it. And he's just like, you didn't see that? We just had that big song and dance number? You didn't see the guy with 2 faces?
Yeah.
You didn't see the dong thong that Danny was wearing?
I love this because Boogaloo's just like, I'm so tired of this. I got to go to Paris. Just sign the contract. Your album is already selling like hotcakes. And he's like, what do you mean it's selling like hotcakes? Even BB's surprised by this. And he's like, look, here's the deal. First you sell it, then you make it. It's marketing 101.
Which is basically the marketing they do nowadays for music.
Yeah.
Because, like, people don't even sing on their fucking music anymore. It's all auto-tuned. And they're like, yeah, we already recorded the album. You're just going to lip-sync it. And BB, the sellout that she is, like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And Alfie's like, fuck you. I'm an artist.
Flips him off again. He's really into flipping up before he
throws
leaves the room.
a pile of shit on the desk.
G.G. Allen breaks his head open.
Jumps
over
on the
door.
desk, pulls his pants down, and just sprays all over it. He was like, I knew I should. I'm glad I took those laxatives this morning.
We're really brushing this G.G. Allen brush across.
Well, people
this
need to
movie.
know about G.G. Allen and the apple. And then he just takes off. Fuck you! And then walks out.
If somebody goes and watches a G.G. Allen video because of this, I don't know if that makes me happy or not.
Yeah, you need to check him out.
Oh boy. Oh god.
And so
this starts in on another song that I love because now Boogaloo has got.
He's got him.
He's got the
one he cared about. He didn't give you Alfie.
Well, he knows that sex sells, and yeah, he's gonna make a real market out of BB.
So he breaks into your favorite song of the movie.
Yes. It's a reggae jam. It's the one I mentioned earlier in the notes because, well, the chorus. I'm going to play it.
It's problematic, of course.
Why am I the darling of the beam elite? Why does everyone fall at my feet? Could it be because I'm so sincerely sweet? Yes, I know how to be a master. Cultivate the need. Grab them by the greed.
Slaves are guaranteed.
When you know how to be a master.
He knows how to be a master.
Reaching the top is such a long, hard climb. Millions of people stand and wait in line. Do you think I got there being patient and kind? Yes, I know how to be a master.
Push and shove and claw.
I mean, it's a troubling song. I mean,
it's basically saying, and it's true, that when you sign a record contract, you're basically the record company's slave. It's a metaphor.
It is definitely a metaphor. It was just, it made people uncomfortable, and it makes sense because you have a white man singing about being a master, and then you have your black...
And he's vaguely German, so you get that Nazi vibe also on top of it. Like, I don't know if he is German, but I get that Eastern European vibe.
But yeah, and then you have your really only singer that's featured in the movie as well. Yeah.
Shakes his man.
Well, he loves Shakes, and he loves Pandy too.
Well, I think he's using Pandy and Dandy.
She might be, or he might be.
And so we cut to BB. She's on her American tour. We get a makeover montage of BB.
Yeah,
because she's got to look good. Because it's all about looks. It's not about the music at all, people. It's about looks. So she's working out in the gym. They're doing a song.
Oh, it's during the song. They're doing a montage.
Yeah,
during the Make a Master song.
Yeah, this is. Well, no, I thought this was the America song. Is this where the
montage? They come out of it, and she's being ushered into a limo.
So it's like song straight to song.
It's song to limo, and everyone's like, "Whoa, who is this new star you got with you, Mr. Boogaloo?" And he's like, "Oh, this is the BB. The BB is going to her American tour. They're supposed to be in America, by the way. So it's like." You're already in America. What are you talking about?
But they're not on the West Coast. They said their tour starts on the West Coast.
That's a good point.
They're in New York City.
So
it's the Big Apple.
Oh my God, the metaphors. So that
we forgot to mention these kids are Hicks.
Did we?
They're from fucking Moose Jaw, Canada.
Oh my God!
Only like the lowest of the lowest come from.
The emphasis on Moose Jaw is hilarious. Every time Shake goes,
I don't know if anyone listens to this from Moose Jaw, they really shit on your city.
Moose Jaw. So yeah, we go right into the fucking hit classic that everybody knows today by Speed. I mean, this is a great
song. Once again, we're saying this predicted the opioid epidemic 40 years in advance. If only people had listened to Menachem Golan, we would not be having people dying every day in America from speed.
I mean, every verse in this song is about us doing drugs. I mean, look, America, the home of the brave, is popping pills to keep up the pace, and every day she has to take more speed. Oh man, and we're gonna hear this again in like 2 months because this is my favorite one.
This is my I'm standing right now.
I'm standing as well.
I'm so proud of it.
America, your reds, whites, and blues are in our blood. We're strung out on you. There's just one thing we're all living for.
Speed!
Oh my God, guys.
Man, yeah.
You hear the joy that these songs are bringing us, so I know everyone is like, pause watching this movie.
You should be, yeah.
Okay, so where are we at? We got
back to the real world, the dystopian world.
Yeah.
That Alfie's living in. But she's living high on the hog. She's the 1% right now.
Yeah.
Alfie's one of us. He's the 99%.
This is where we see just
Alfie's fucking Bernie Sanders, okay?
He really is. We just see this random lady walking in a random alleyway, and she gets stopped. Just what do they call that now in like the southern states? Stop and frisk.
Yeah, it was a very stop and frisk moment.
Oh man!
But they frisked her for a BIM mark because everybody has to wear a BIM mark.
Mandatory.
Number of the beast, people. Get your QAnon on. We're warning you. InfoWars. Do not let anyone put a BIM mark on you. Refuse.
Globalist.
And we see what's Alfie's up to. Alfie living in that shithole apartment with his landlady. They share the apartment.
Yeah, the lady who got the ticket. This was a good segue. She comes in. I just got a ticket for walking without some kind of jizz jazz or something.
And he's like, "Oh, you mean the BIM marks?" For some reason, people in Moose Jaw have British accents, except for BB. And we learn that he's so broke. Griff. He's fucking her he's having to fuck this old lady. It's like, and we see how the relationship works out because we see we have a moment that would make not only Junkyard Dog proud but Joe Biden proud because he grabs her cakes like a motherfucker. He just squeezes the shit out of her tits.
Well,
it's a PG movie.
He's
people.
Dead asleep. It's 5 in the afternoon, 5 in the evening. And she is just like, get up, you lazy bum. You know, they share a bed and
he's
everything.
like, you know what I give you every night. Shut up, lady.
Yeah, he's getting guilt because he was like, I wrote a new song. And she's like, you kept me all night up all night with it.
Oh, he kept him up all night.
Yeah, and then
she was coming for him.
Oh, man.
That's a song for later. We'll play it in its entirety.
No, we won't.
And
it's 8 minutes long. We're not playing that in its entirety.
All right, we'll play it twice.
Don't lie.
So we get he's selling his body. It's how low it's gotten for Alfie.
Well, yeah, the landlord is straight up just like, hey, it's a nice song, but fuck me. Fuck me. But
heaven forbid you get a job, Alfie. What the fuck?
Yeah, she's like, you're a great songwriter. Don't write shit for people who actually like music. Just write shit to sell it so you can pay me.
She's telling him to sell out. And he's like, he just takes a big shit on her bed because that's what he does when he gets angry. He's like, I'm an artist.
She's even like, your song is pretty great. It made me cry. But stop writing songs that are good.
People don't like nostalgia.
So Alfie rushes off to BIM Studios where, you know...
I bought some time in BIM Studios. I got to be out of here.
I got to get out of here.
So he's like fucking singing his heart out, dude. He's just like, you know...
strumming that guitar along.
And then he goes, all right, cut. And then the producer's like, oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to even turn on the recording thing. It's shit. Get the fuck out.
So
once again, he just shits on the stool he was sitting on and storms out.
Breaks it over his back somehow.
Like, fuck you!
GGL, man. This is how he became to be.
And he's spent. He has nothing for the landlady. So he's like, I'm going to spend the night in the park.
He rushes out to that park. He's just sitting there minding his own business. And he fucking gets a ticket for not having a BIM marker.
And these cops are looking like straight up Nazis. They're wearing these black uniforms.
So we need to just get a montage because we need to do a little world building here. So we just get a nice scene.
Well, while he's getting the ticket, all of a sudden these sirens
Yeah, the sirens. Good call. And... National BIM Hours coming up. This was actually foreshadowed earlier in the movie. One of the interviewers that we talked about with Mr. Boogaloo.
Jim Potter, Pittman?
Joe
Pittman?
Joe Pittman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I heard your song got bought out for the National National Music Song of the Day or whatever.
Yeah, so it's BIM hour, people, which is mandatory. No matter what if you're driving on the freeway, you have to stop. It's like Muslim prayer when they have the siren go out.
Yeah.
You have to stop what you're doing and start rocking out.
So, sure enough, everybody stops what they're doing, and we see all the walks of life in this future.
Guy's in the middle of getting fucking appendectomy, and he's like...
That was the best part. He's fucking
he's like,
passed
fuck
out
you,
on the
appendix.
table.
I got to rock out for an hour.
And you see him get up.
And then his appendix explodes and he dies.
We get...
But he died doing what he loved, bimming.
I mean, we already mentioned Coke earlier, but we get another nice Coke shot.
Coke bottling factory.
Coke bottling factory. Put the glove on the bottle. Wave as it goes by. Oh,
that doesn't stop, people, because Coke never stops.
Coke never stops.
And yeah, and it's just like everyone is just enthralled by Bim, except for Alfie, because he's pure. He's beautiful.
So he's still just like walking around, moping, being all upset about everything.
He's an artist, dude.
He is, and no one understands him. BB kind of understood him, and sure enough, he happens to walk by. I don't know many concerts that happened in the middle of the day, but this one was.
It's a matinee.
Yeah, a matinee. And so it's all letting out. Apparently, BB has the very fucking worst security ever, because he lets out...
Well, she's got Bulldog and Fat Dog were the name of her.
Oh, are they?
Yes,
They've
those
got,
two bald guys.
They've got these fucked up jaws.
Well,
like
they have Bulldog. They have Bulldog teeth.
Yeah, huge underbites or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what that would be called, right?
Yeah.
And so they have like the giant teeth that like stick
Like
out
fangs.
almost up to their news.
That's why they call Bulldog and Fat Dog.
Yeah. But it is fucking shocking to see. I don't know. It was just kind of weird to see. And then they have like the...
Well, because they're demon spawn. I mean...
Oh, yeah, they
Boogaloo
are
is Satan.
Yeah, they are kind of going for that.
Yeah.
So, kind of going for that.
It's subtle, but yeah, it's there.
So, she's giving out autographs, and then she finally, BB, hears, and this is where we get kind of a power struggle happening, because Pandy and Dandy are with her,
right.
And they're like not even second fiddle anymore. Yeah. They're basically trash.
Yeah, they're yesterday's news.
Exactly. And so finally, what's her name? BB hears Elfie.
BB, my love.
And BB's like, oh shit, well, no, clear the way. Let him come here. And they talk for a minute, and she's kind of realizing like maybe this isn't what I want. Maybe I do want to be a bum with
everything
you.
I want in life. I'm rich. I can go wherever I want.
I miss grabbing your landlord's cakes.
Yeah, it's like, well,
the
grass is always greener, Griff.
I want my own life back. But
and they're like, shut it down.
Yup. And so this is where we finally get that martial arts action, because Bulldog or somebody,
Bulldog and Fat Dog.
Bulldog and or Fat Dog runs up there, finally grabs Alfie, just gives him a couple of punches. And, I mean, he's out for like a month.
Yeah, he's like an emo guy. He's a scrawny little emo guy. Yeah. So he's a lover, not a fighter. And he gets his
Big
shit
time.
kicked out of him. And then, didn't Boogaloo like show up and just laugh? I think Boogaloo pisses on him.
Boogaloo does show up, and he's just like, look at this bum.
He's like, so you like to shit, do you? And he just shits all on fucking on Alfie's chest.
God, this is like a GG enthused episode.
GG, BB, it's all the same.
It is.
Dandy, Pandy, GG, BB. And they just take off in their limo. Go, fuck you, loser.
Yeah. So this is where we get BB singing her song.
They're like, we get that beautiful scene. You see it like in a lot of musicals where she's like in her penthouse apartment. He's in his shithole apartment with the landlady. Just got done banging
he's
her.
got to go from where he just got mugged, basically.
Right.
And so he's crying. It happened to start raining that very minute.
Right. And they're singing a duet, but they're apart.
Oh,
they're
it's so
singing
beautiful.
about how much they miss each other.
But it's also BB. A lot of BB's verses are about how you can't overcome the evil of Bim. Like it's just not possible. Your love is great, but you know it's like a 2 out of 10, and Bim's like a 8 out of 5. They're very powerful.
Very powerful. But. You know, it's beautiful. It's good versus evil. It's Jedi versus dark side of the Force. It's everything you want.
And then we wake up to Alfie the next morning.
Alfie waking up in the bed, landlady. Get a job!
Do you have the money yet? That song sucked.
And he's like, I promise I'll have it next week. I got a great idea for a song. It's just I miss BB.
Yeah. He's like, did she call? She didn't call.
Well, she's like, did you call her?
Yeah,
And
well,
I kind of can't because she's like up in the penthouse. I'm a loser. I don't even have a phone.
yeah.
That doesn't matter. You got to talk to her.
Yeah, go fight her. That's how they used to do it in the old days. She's feeding him soup, just kind of like flicking it at his face. She's not even like handing him the spoon. She's just splishing it in his face. It's weird. I don't know what's going on in this apartment, but I love it.
There's a straight out Eyes Wide Shut party going on.
Because Alfie takes her advice and is like, yeah, you're right. Puts on his tightest jeans, gets that bulge just
Puts
poking
on his
out.
fucking peacock family opera mask so he can fit in.
Oh my god! Grabs some of that petroleum jelly and a 6-pack of
And he's
condoms.
like, I can just slip right in.
Slip right into
And
somebody.
And he does. Because people don't know. It's like Shake is holding court. Boogaloo, he's not into fucking. He's into money. So he's up in that roof counting his money.
He's like playing a Hugh Hefner role where he kind of like walks around just to do appearances, but
Yeah.
he's like, no one. I'm not slipping in between, these weird.
And
sexual
so Shake,
perverts.
he's like the master of ceremonies. He's got all his drag queen buddies with him.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just having a great time. The lighting is all red to let you know this is hell.
Oh my god, yeah.
And so they even though he has that masterful family opera mask, they still suss out that it's Alfie.
Immediately. And
he's like, I recognize that dong print in those white pants.
Exactly. So Shake immediately noticed him and is like, Pandy, get him.
Take care of him.
So they go to this bar where our was it the Italian? It was the Italian reporter is the bartender now.
Yeah.
And he's serving up a drink. Alfie immediately is like, Scotch, rocks.
You can tell he's Italian because there's a rat on the bar and he flicked it off.
So the straight edge Alfie immediately is like,
He
Scotch
breaks
on the
edge,
rocks.
immediately breaks edge, bitch.
Immediately. And Pandy's just like, no. You're having one of my drinks. It looks like some kind of vegetable cocktail. It's like
But
green
he's like,
and thick.
But Alfie's like, hey, I know you from somewhere. And then holy shit, is that
Yeah.
Joe Pittman
Joe
manning the bar?
Well, he walks out with Pandy's special drink. And, of course, he hands it to her in a gardening pot. Because that's,
That's what you do in there.
So he's walking around with like a 10-gallon gardening pot because, future.
Here you go, sir. And he's like, you look familiar. No, I've always bartended here.
No. You're Joe Pittman from the Daily Bugle.
Joe who?
I mean, he knew his name, but he's like, I love working here. And he's like, do you? And he's like, yes.
I'm going to go get your duck. It's in the oven.
It's in the oven.
And he walks away.
Just disappears.
And then Pandy's like, drink some of that. Drink some of that.
So he does. He starts sipping at it.
He's got one of those giant, like, curly straws. It's,
Yeah.
it looks kind of silly, but hey, it's a big fucking flower pot.
And then because he's not involved in all the sexual activity, but he's just there for appearances, Boog swoops in. And
Boog with that sweet ass fucking
single horn.
Well, he's seeing it. No one else is seeing that because he's a three-eyed raven, so he can see that he's Satan. And he's got that sweet dangly earring in the right ear, I might add, guys. You know what that means.
Oh, shit.
And, he's just like, oh, it's you, Alfie, yeah.
Why are you here? And he's like, I'm here. I need BB. I'm taking her.
It's like, she doesn't want you.
Yeah.
She likes it here.
And he's like, no, she doesn't. She wants out. And he's like, okay, go find her.
Well,
And he takes another sip.
Chugs it, and then he starts. Ooh, I'm feeling weird.
Turns around to
he's
go.
Seeing,
yeah.
He's not even seeing double. He's seeing octuple. He's seeing 8 of people. And Pandy's like, "What's going on? Are you feeling all right?" And she's like, feeling. She's feeling, rubbing in that petroleum jelly on his chest. And then they bust into one of the least sexual.
I wanted to release BB from a contract.
You know what? Let's go ahead. I'll just layer this in.
Well, what do you say?
I'll just kind of like.
Why did you ask her if she
It's a
wanted
very subtle song, people.
Yeah.
A little song I like to call "I'm Coming for You."
Yeah.
Pandy, where is she?
She's here somewhere.
Where is she? We'll go and look for her.
I'm coming for you. Now I'm coming for you. Let me tempt you and tease you and hold you and squeeze you and feel every inch of your love. Let me show you things you never dreamed of. Ooh, come in.
And so they have a little another dance routine. It's a fucking / dance routine where we see all these people in these bed, because it's like an Eyes Wide Shut party. So they're going through all these rooms. People are fucking each other every which way but loose. And she's like, "Hey, I like what you see." He's like, "Oh, I still love BB." Oh, and she's like, "Oh, you'll love me."
Yeah.
And she takes him to a bedroom, rips his shirt off,
Rips
which is
her-
fine because he
yeah.
was already shirtless. I don't know, he had his shirt on.
She takes like her
Her
robe
top
off. Oh, it's starting to get
And
real.
they go down to Fucktown.
They definitely go down to Fucktown. And you were just saying these lyrics had no... Guys, I played...
I don't know how these lyrics had anything to do with what was going on, what we were seeing. They're so opposite of what's going on. These lyrics are telling it's about meeting somebody. I don't
Meeting
know.
somebody? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's just... Together. Let's read this. Coming for you. Now I'm coming for you. Let me tempt you and tease you and pet you and please you and squeeze every inch of your love. Let me
Every
show
inch of your love.
Let me show you things you never dreamed of. Not quite how they
Let
sang
me be
it,
your
but-
back door man.
Come and take me and shape me. This is not how that song
No,
sounds at all.
it's a little better now.
And mold me and make me and fill me with your fire. Is that an AIDS reference?
No, because it's pre-AIDS. It's probably gonorrhea. Just burning peas.
Okay,
No,
okay.
yeah.
Come do anything to me your little heart desires. Come to me, I come for you. Make it harder and harder, faster and faster. And when you think you can't keep it up, I'll make it deeper and deeper, tighter and tighter, and drain every drop of your love.
Yeah, it's a very to-the-point song about wanting to meet somebody.
I really wanted to meet you.
And I guess she basically rapes Alfie.
That's what it looked like. I mean, they drugged him, and then she led him to a bed, took his clothes off, put his dick right in there.
And then he comes to her.
Yeah.
And he gets up. He's finished.
Yeah.
And he just stumbles out. And he walks in this room. It's Dandy and BB fucking.
Yeah, he wanted nothing to do with her the whole time.
And I don't know. Do you think this was real, or this was him like imagining this because he's so fucked up? I can't see BB fucking him over.
I think BB was high as fuck.
Okay, that could be it. And she's like, "I don't want you. Beat it, loser. I got Dandy right here."
Yeah, she does. She's just like, fucking...
I'm yanking his doodle. It's a dandy. And
go back to the Gigi Allen jokes. God damn it, that was wonderful.
Well, he does shit on the bed and then walk out. He's like, well, if you're not gonna come with me, I'm gonna shit on you.
So Al ends up somewhere, I don't know, but we wake up the next morning, Shake wearing a Macho Man robe. It's beautiful. I wish I could find this robe. And just a silver sparkly little...
It's a dong thong. It's a banana hammock. And yeah, it's fitting all the right places.
And panties,
it actually says, "Ooh, yeah," like spelled out on the back of his robe.
Does, yes. And Pandy is just waiting there.
Making pancakes.
BB comes in.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Man, I had the weirdest dream that Alfie came and saw me."
Yeah, and he shit on the bed. What was that about?
And Pandy is just like, "Alfie was here."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, sidebar." And Shake the whole time is just like, "I'm going to listen in on what these bitches..."
He does a Hulk Hogan, like, twist arm.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's listening.
So he's listening to this conversation they're having at a normal volume. Pandy is just like, he seriously loves you.
So much so that Pandy comes out of her stupor. She's like obviously been drugged too by Boogaloo. So now she's just like, your love snapped me straight.
Yeah.
And you got to go find him, girl.
Love is the most potent drug. If only Gigi Allen took some love. Maybe stop shitting on things.
And then Shag's like, hey there, don't you fuck with our $1 million bitch.
Yeah.
And she's like, you go, girl, go. And he just grabs Pandy and slaps the shit out of her. He's like,
Jesus
boom,
Christ.
boom, boom. It's like, holy fuck. I didn't know Shake had it in him.
It's nuts.
And then
she's just like, fuck it, let's go. Grab your stuff. And
BB
seriously,
takes off.
that's it.
Pandy's like, I'm too far gone. I'm staying.
Yeah. BB's like,
she's like, I'm too far in the life. She's like a hoe that's like,
I don't know what to do. Come with me. And she's like, no, you'll figure it out. Just walk out the front. Go down the elevator.
Pandy's been in the life
door.
for too long. She can't adjust to normal life. She's like, I can't let you become what I've become. Go to him.
So while this is happening,
come to him.
You know, we're not even going to talk about that. We're just going to go ahead and let BB lead us to what's going on with Alfie. We're gonna skip over what Alfie's been up to in the meanwhile. So BB is like, I'm coming for you. Part 2. Yeah. And she is singing it with Pandy. They're doing this thing again where BB is running to where she knows Alfie to be, the landlord's house. And so her and Pandy are singing. God, I want to call her Mandy.
Yeah,
fucking
Pandy.
hate it.
And they're doing a duet, like you said. So she's still at the crib, and she's running to the shithole apartment that they share with the landlady.
So she gets there, and to her surprise, the landlady was just like, "Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? I got some soup. Let me flick it in your face."
Ain't you a star? What are you doing here?
So he's like, "Oh no, Alfie, he moved out last night. He took his guitar and that one photo he had of you that it's gross.
Came, he grabbed my cakes one more time and he beat it.
He beat it. Oh, wait, where did he go? Oh, he's hanging out under a bridge with a bunch of bums.
People, I hate to break to you, this was the true inspiration for the classic Red Hot Chili Pepper song, Under the Bridge.
Under the Bridge.
It's not about heroin addiction. It's about the apple.
It's about meeting God.
Really listen to it, people. Yeah. Really listen to it. Yeah, because that's where all the fucking scum of the earth live now, under a bridge, like a troll. And we see Alfie. Doesn't he, like, wake up again? He's always, like, passing out and waking up in parks for some reason.
Well, no, we skipped over that part.
Did we?
Yes, we did. I intentionally skipped over that part because we're following BB now going to the bridge. And as she walks by, we've already met this man. But it's a man with a very fake nose and a giant Bowie knife. Bowie knife? Bowie knife?
He's rock and roll Gandalf is what he is.
He is rock and roll Gandalf for sure.
He's got
Gandalf the Great.
For an old guy, he got some abs. Some sweet abs, and he's showing them off.
He's showing them off. He's got the Jim Dandy belt on and everything. He must have been the original Dandy.
Probably.
Could you see that man rocking a washboard?
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
He probably does at the hippie commune.
This is all making sense. I mean, Jim Dandy had his Heaven on Earth, his commune for hippies.
Well, there is Heaven on Earth, and it's under a bridge. They live in a cave. They live in a cave under the bridge, people.
Yes.
That's where frankly, that's where hippies belong. And because the cops ran him off, because when Alfie came to, he was like in this middle of this commune, and they're all kumbaya-ing it and smoking weed, and it's like patchouli everywhere.
He plays "Love Is the Melody." What was that song here? Love the Universal Melody. He plays that.
That's some crunchy vibes. I dig it.
Everybody, hey,
finally he found his crowd, his people.
Exactly. They're like, have some coffee and a jazz cigarette. So he's
loving it. He's finally found his people, but the cops show up and they go, "Hey, no bums in the park before 7 o'clock."
Yeah,
so
whatever.
they scurry off
Why
to their
are we doing
hole.
the scene?
Because we got to know where they're at.
Well, this is not where they're at.
This is where Alfie's at. Alfie fucks off with them.
They're in the cave. We skipped over the park.
Why were you so hell-bent on skipping over this?
Because it's pointless.
Well, obviously it's not, because people know
because you
where
care
we're
about
at.
it. Got it.
So, sorry.
BB under the bridge.
They're under the bridge. apparently, guys, we're in a rush to get through this. Okay. So, they're under the bridge. Rock and Roll Gandalf goes, "Hey, he's over in the confirmed bachelors section." Because even though they're like, and this is like, I bet it smelled really bad in that cave.
It has to. They don't have water to wash themselves with.
And, Alfie's shitting everywhere.
He's going full Gigi Allen on these fuckers.
Yeah, he shows. She hasn't seen Alfie. He's covered in shitty homemade tattoos. He shaved his head. and he's naked with a tiny dick.
Wait,
He went full Gigi.
Wait, what was with Gigi and a tiny dick?
Gigi had a microscopic dick. If you ever, guys, turn it off right now and watch Gigi Allen live. Just type in Gigi Allen live on YouTube.
I fear
if you don't know who we're talking about. That was his big thing. I think that's why he was such an angry guy, because he had the smallest dick, and it's like, dude, cover that.
I feel like now when I put up the title for this episode, it has to be the apple in parentheses Gigi Allen.
And so he's just all fucked up, but she's still digging it. And she goes up,
God.
Alfie, you're finally the man I wanted you to be. And he grabs the BIM mark on her head and throws it off and goes, you're my woman now. Let's have babies.
Hippies were totally into that kind of talk. You're my woman
well,
now.
I toned it down. He actually said, you're my bitch.
Yeah.
But he said, you're my woman now, and I'm your man.
I found this
Let's get
album.
down.
It's called Kid Rock, Grits, and Something for Breakfast. It's the best.
What the fuck did that have to do with anything we're talking about?
Inspiration for his language.
Okay.
About you're my bitch now.
Okay.
That album would have been...
Thank God we had to shoehorn that in.
Hey, man. At least I didn't spend 8 minutes saying, Alfie was at the park and the police came.
At least it has something to do with the movie.
Good point.
All right.
I fucked up.
So, it's okay. You're forgiven. Now, so... Do they come back out? They scurry out.
Dude, they're like out doing one of their hippie picnics. They got their no vaccine signs. They're rocking that whole thing.
Are hippies anti-vaccine?
It's usually...
No, they're like holistic medicine can cure measles.
Well, yeah, they're kind of in this...
Rub some wool on your dick. I don't know.
It's basically anybody who would be like, big medicine lies, all natural for everything.
Acupuncture cures everything.
Exactly. So they got the needles.
So they all are basically covered in sores because they're disgusting, gross people.
Yeah, they were just hanging out in the park. They were tossing frisbees, doing,
It's after 7 o'clock, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But finally, this is a year later, guys.
Yeah.
Did we mention that? 1 year.
1 year later.
More than 1 year, as the movie says.
Yeah.
So that could be 5, it could be 12, it could be whatever.
We were trying to figure it out. Was it 5 years? What's 20 years? It's over a year.
And Mr. Boogaloo is Satan, so he still, and you know how Satan loves his contracts, and he still has BB tied to that contract. He owns her soul, people. And he shows up, time to pay the piper.
Yeah.
So first he has his jackbooted Nazi thugs show up. They're just beating the shit out of these hippies. I kind of like this part. I was like, maybe it's not so bad. These are hippies.
It's picking up. It's about to end. It's picking up.
And and they're having the hell of a time. But in the year's time, he got over his Gigi Allen phase. He grew his hair back out. Grew a beard. And he's holding a 5-year-old child.
A little rugrat.
And this has been, I guess technically it's been more than a year, so this could make sense, because it makes no sense to me that a year they would have a 5-year-old child. Maybe it was just a random kid he just picked up.
It might have, all he says is, because they come, and they're like, we want your wife. Or we want BB, and he steps forward. He's like, I speak for the bitch. That's my wife. Don't besmirch her.
And then rock and roll Gandalf comes in. Let me speak for both of you.
Yeah.
And they're like, I got a contract. Because Mr. Boogaloo, he might be evil, but he plays by the rules.
Yeah.
And it's like, you tell him, Shake says it. You tell him, Boogaloo.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck your contracts. And then Rock and Roll Jesus tears the contract up in his face.
Dude,
throws it in his face.
Rock and Roll Jesus does better than that. I'm sorry. He laughs at them. He is just like, how much does she owe you? And they're like, well, $5 million, of course. And we get the reaction cuts as all the hippies start laughing. Because Rock and Roll Jesus is like, oh yeah, we all have $5 million to spare here.
You're right, because what happens next is Rock and Roll Gandalf takes his shit and he wipes his ass with the contract and then throws it at him.
So all
hell's about to break loose.
All the BIM people are like beside themselves.
They're furious.
We get these cuts of these beautiful shades, and in a year, not much has changed, but the hairstyles have gotten way more drastic.
Way
They're like
intricate.
Really sharp points. Joe Pittman comes out again. I'm writing this all down.
Joe Pittman looks like he's from Flock of Seagulls.
Yes, he does.
And he's like a 50-year-old guy, like as paunchy as.
Oh
man,
guy. Beautiful,
beautiful. And everyone's
at least we agree on one thing.
Everyone's about to fucking die until look up in the sky. It's a bird.
Well,
it's a
They're about to be ushered to jail. And I have to bring this up because the prologue got cut.
Right.
And so we get, what's his name? Elfie muttering under his breath because Rock and Roll Jesus is like, all right, Elfie, BB, your son, we're going to jail now. So they're like, oh, man. So he says under his breath, well, I'm not too worried because Mr. Tops will come for us. And BB's like, who's Mr. Tops?
And just as that happens, look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a Rolls Royce. There's a flying Rolls Royce and the worst special effects. And it's it just stops right in the sky. Door opens, this pimp-ass motherfucker comes out.
And this weird,
he's doing like a pimp strut, like down to like the ground. It's Mr. Tops, people. People, it's God. God is here.
It is so amazing.
And he's just like, hey, Boogaloo, what's up?
I've got contract. You got shit.
Exactly. And then that shuts Boogaloo up. Shh.
So they go into this whole story about, like, I will always be here. Like, you can free them.
I'm the Alpha and the Omega.
Yeah, you can free them from this, but I'll get them in 5 years. And he's just like, no, we're going to go to a different planet. And he's like, I'll be there too. And he's like, not this time.
Not quite. Basically, people, the rapture happens. All the hippies walk up into space. They fall. The Rolls Royce just takes off. That's leading them.
The superimposed image of all the hippies walking in the sky into the Rolls Royce. When you think this movie cannot get any weirder, it just ramps it up nonstop. That's what I love about this. No car chases. By the way, all the cars in this movie, Homer Simpson's model car.
They were, yes.
They got the giant bubble and the huge spoilers.
These cars would get turned away from New Barbarians. They're too ridiculous.
Yes, they're amazing.
And he's like, maybe we can make a better place. And then he just walks off to the sunset. And they move on to make a better Earth. They leave people like heathens like me and Griff to die in eternal torment in hell. Just like the rapture.
We're going to be at the next G.G. Allen concert getting shit flung at us. Like a bunch of idiots.
Whoa, Griff. That was something.
That movie is something.
I hope everyone needs to see this movie at least once. At least everyone who's listening to us right now.
I don't know how
I know this is kind of out of our wheelhouse. We're action guys, but come on, people. How can you not want to watch this after what we just said?
You see, what I love about this movie is Golan poured his heart into it. I love projects like this where people pour their hearts into it. And I feel like there are parts of this where I'm like, all right, I enjoy this. But obviously I'm not telling you it's a great movie. But it is fucking entertaining as all hell.
Yeah, it's very sincere.
It really is.
Message. That's what we like here. That's why we like these movies, and we don't like modern action movies.
Yeah,
because they're all made by the BIM factory.
They really are.
It reminds me of just a few days ago. Griff and I were at a bar, which brace yourselves, people.
Oh my god!
There was a TV playing.
Immediately walk in.
The TV was playing Snake Eater 3.
Underrated episode.
Highly underrated. Really, guys, listen to that episode. And not only that, it was at our favorite scene from that fucking movie where Lorenzo Lamas and Cowboy are in their tighty-whities fighting a biker gang.
Dude, Kid Rock shows up and fucking starts throwing. Oh my god! How did that happen?
I don't know.
It's still weird to me that happened.
And so we were there to see a Japanese band called Guitar Wolf, which are kind of like a rockabilly noise rock band.
Holy shit!
This brings us back to what we were talking about with the sincerity and these guys. They weren't the greatest musicians, but holy fuck, were they amazing!
Yeah, seriously, go see Guitar Wolf.
These guys were so fucking weird, but it was such a pure weird. It wasn't. There was no affectations. It was like, you just go see them.
Oh my god. And the fact that just the lead singer came out for an encore, everybody, even because he had like friends or family or wives with him, even they were like, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, because behind them, they're breaking down their whole drum kit and everything and setting up the next band.
And
he's like, fuck it, I got to play. I got a song in my heart.
He's out there, he's like playing one rhythm on his guitar and singing in a completely different rhythm. It's
like broken English. We were kind of
It was amazing. Like, seriously, my jaw was down the whole time. I was fascinated by it. It was wonderful.
Yeah, we need more of that and less of this pre-packaged bullshit we're getting nowadays.
I love Samurai Cop. Samurai Cop 2 is your pre-packaged
Exactly.
shit.
That was like, it's because people, we talked about it on our sudden death episode. People got, what's the word I'm looking for? They got self-conscious about it.
Oh, big time.
And they just thought too much about it. Like, I got to be taken seriously. I can't have this happen. I can't have that happen because it's ridiculous.
They listen to people too much who are like, oh, they didn't explain this and they didn't explain that. I don't want it. I don't want foreshadowing. I want cool shit to happen.
Right.
That's all I need. I need 2 foreshadows max.
And that leads us into our next week's movie, Griff.
Oh my
cool
God.
shit happening. I'm
just circling it on my paper.
I'm giving a shout out to our buddy Justin who follows us because we were going to do this movie anyway, but we kind of got lost in the shuffle and we forgot about it. But he brought it up. So Justin, this is for you. We're going to do, and also it fits in. We've been wanting to do a lot of female-led action movies, and now we're going to do 2 in a row. We're going to do one after this. But the first one, it's a Cynthia Rothrock, China O'Brien. You remember her? Movie has the most. This is the only thing I think both of us have ever seen in this movie. The final fight is so fucking amazing. We're doing the whole movie just because of the final fight. Final fight is amazing, Griff.
We pulled up a few seconds of it. Jerry Seinfeld is the villain.
Yes, an intense Jerry Seinfeld.
Very intense.
Movie is called Undefeatable. And so we're looking forward to watching it.
It's on YouTube.
And we're looking forward. It's on YouTube for free. And we're looking forward to talking about it next week. So that will be our movie next week. And as always, keep it warm.
A Golan-globus production. Another good one from Canon.
Hey, Straight.